Well, over the past week, Americans have watched the collapse of big banks, banks like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank. WENY's Alexandra Dern spoke to a Cornell professor of law about what's going on and if people here in the Twin Tiers should be worried. Alexandra?
Nick, over the weekend, after the news of the bank failure at Silicon Valley Bank, people were lined up to take out their money out of the bank, and they were turned away. But ultimately, once Monday rolled around, everyone got their money back, including bank customers who had more than $250,000. Nick, I don't know about you, but I do not have $250,000 in the bank. Anyway, if you're like the average American who doesn't own a small to medium-sized business, a local expert says you don't need to worry. But what is happening?
The principal reason is the suddenness of the rate hikes by the Federal Reserve, right? So Jay Powell has hiked up the rates, essentially the predominant interest rates economy-wide by 4.5% in just 1 year.
Robert Hockett, an Edward Cornell professor of law, says these rate hikes have never gone up this quickly over the last 45 years. Hockett believes Jerome Powell, the chair of the Federal Reserve, is overdoing it. Why? Professor Hockett thinks the current rash of inflation that Americans are dealing with is not being caused by wages or salaries.
Rate hikes basically work by essentially putting downward pressure on people's wages and salaries, even to the point of making people unemployed. So I think what we're doing is we're sort of using the wrong tool here. Powell is treating this as a sort of wage or salary driven inflation. But in fact, it's partly supply driven, right? There's just been a lot of underproduction since the pandemic struck.
With the two latest bank failures, do we have anything to worry about here in the Twin Tiers? Professor Hockett says it depends on who you're banking with. He says the recent ripple will probably encourage more people to place their money in big Wall Street banks, such as Chase or JP Morgan. And in response to that, smaller regional banks will start to shut down.
I think what's going to happen is a lot of people like you or me might just go over, at least if they have more than $250,000, they might just go over and put their money over in the big Wall Street banks and they'll become even bigger.
Basically, Hockett says you don't have to worry unless you have more than $250,000 in the bank.
The only worry at all, I think, is for some businesses that might have more than that because their operating expenses are higher than that. So that would be kind of small to mid-sized businesses.
On Monday, President Biden wanted to reassure Americans that the banking system is strong, their money is safe, and that the FDIC is there to protect their money. Getting back to Silicon Valley Bank, the government said everyone will get their money back, including those who had more than $250,000. Nick?
All right, thanks, Alexandra.